Okay, let's talk about the S&P 500 today. We'll look at the weekly, the daily. We'll look at my trade, and we will look at the intraday charts like we always do. Today was a interesting day, excuse me. So here on the weekly chart, let me just spread this out a little bit, see if we can get this a little bit bigger. Weekly, we're still looking at the March contract. This is about to change here, and I think at the end of this week on the TOS platform here, they're going to switch over to the June contract most likely. So this will be the last week that most people trade this this March contract on the futures. For those that may be new, yep, we're talking about futures, not options. I tend to look at the futures. I trade futures almost exclusively nowadays. But of course, most of this applies. What I'm going to talk about, most of it applies also to those that trade options on the SPX and on the SPY. So, all right. Okay, let's get started here. This week already we hit an all-time high again today. So since today's Monday. And that's pretty important. So I did this on, I think, last Thursday. I'm going to do it again here. We're going to count all these candlesticks all the way back to here. And we're going to look to see, we can even start from at the top and work our way back. Is the high of the current week higher than the previous week? Well, we know this one is, right? So we're going to put a dot there. We know it's higher than that one because it already says it's all-time high. I mean, we can check right here. This high was 51.49. You can see today, and this week so far, 51.57. So we know it's higher, right? So let's keep doing this. Higher than the previous week? Yeah, that's higher than that one. Yeah. Is this higher than this one? Yes. Is this higher than this one? Let's check it. This high was 48.5. This was 66. So, yep. This one is higher than that one. Clearly, that one's higher than this one. This one's clearly higher than that one. That one's higher than this. That's higher than that. Let's check these two. This high was 38, and this was 28. So this one is higher than that one. Okay, so we'll leave the dot there. Is this one higher than this one? I don't think it is. Let's check. This high was 28, and this is 41. So that one doesn't get a dot. Okay, no dot. This one's higher than this one. Yep, I can see that it is. So this is higher than this. This is higher than that. Yep, this is higher than that one. Okay, is this one higher than this one? This is 1375. I'm just looking at the last two digits if you wonder what I'm saying here. 461375. Yep, that's 07. Okay, so far we're good. And it's definitely higher than this one. This one's higher than that one. That one's higher than this one, and this one's higher than that one. Okay? So there you go. It's kind of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Did I count it right? Might have missed one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I counted that one. So because 18 out of the 19 weeks. 18 out of the 19 weeks, right? The high has been higher than the previous week's high. That's a whole lot of high. And we already know today, being Monday for this week, it's already higher than the previous week. So what does that say? Well, we're still on a rocket ship. I mean, we are literally on a rocket ship, man. This thing is like blast off. And until this market tells us otherwise, the market continues to be two horns, baby. Boo. It's bull-ish. We'll just call it the bull. Because there's just a whole lot of bull going on right here. All right, the market is extremely bullish and continues to be bullish. All right. Divergence, yep, going on. Last week, on Thursday, this candlestick was lower than this one. I said Friday's a big day. Well, we all saw what happened on Friday. That Friday was a blast off to the moon day. So that took care of that. Answered that question. Now, what was the range last week? We're at 89, 164. They're all just kind of small weeks. 139. 157 way back here. You know, the market has definitely changed. Just the way things are done nowadays. I talked about this before. The market's so controlled nowadays. What's this right here? Here we go, 276. This is when you got bearish stuff going on. The only time you see big candlesticks nowadays is when it's bearish. You hardly ever see. Here was one. 248 for the week. Everything's so controlled nowadays. You don't normally see really big candlesticks anymore. It's all just like tiny candlesticks for the week. Heck, I remember seeing candlesticks of this 164 in one day. You know, nowadays this is for the whole week. Market is so controlled. All right, so that's a weekly chart. Let's go look at my trade, then we'll talk about the rest of the charts. Okay, here's my trade, $525 today. I just traded 3 contracts, so it was just one trade. That's it, one trade. And this was not the S&P 500. I actually traded the Nikkei, or the Nike, or however you pronounce this. I traded this, which is in the futures. That's NKD, I think. Could be NDK. I can't remember which way this goes, but I think it's this symbol. Okay, this is what I trade. I traded this last night when the market opened up on futures on Sunday night. This is what I traded. I'm just looking over at the charts right now as the intraday just closed, and the market absolutely took a huge dive bomb here in the last hour. Yeah, amazing, absolutely amazing. From like 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, it just absolutely got crushed. But yeah, this is my trade. My goals really haven't changed. This product is definitely more difficult to trade than the S&P 500 because it's not nearly as stable. I talked about this before. This product you can make a lot of money very quick, and you can also lose a lot of money very quick. But yeah, I traded this last night, and I'm going to continue to watch this product. I was trading 4 contracts because with this product, the initial margin is less. But I decided to just back it down a little bit and just trade 3 contracts and not take on quite as much risk. Considering the range for the S&P 500 today, this is actually pretty good profit, 525. I don't think I could have, I guess at the end of the day there, if I was paying attention, I was busy with my day job. Yikes. But there was huge money to be made right there in the last hour from 2 to 3 o'clock. I missed that because I was in a meeting. But anyways, I'm pretty happy with this 525 considering today was a very small range day in the S&P 500. So I just traded this product instead. I'm going to continue to keep an eye on this product. I'll probably trade it at least from time to time. And my goals haven't changed, whether it's this product or the S&P 500. I'm always looking to try to increase my position size. So as the count grows, hopefully the position size grows along with it. Okay. All right. Anybody that's looking to trade this particular product, I would say be very careful. That's my opinion. Because you might get, let's say this is a candlestick right here. You might get like a gap down like that. This big old gap in here. It can happen that quick. And then it might shoot back up, like it might travel up a little bit, and then gap up. Just do stuff like this, okay? It's very, it's not nearly as predictable as S&P 500. You really got to pay attention to this product. You got to have a high degree of certainty about what you're doing. And even when I'm trading it, I'm like right on top of it, I'm not setting stop losses and walking away. No, that's not happening on this product. All right, so that's my profit for the day. Not bad. I mean, think about this. If you're making $500 a day, okay, I'm just gonna do some quick math here, right? 5 times a week, right? For my account size, $500 a day is very, very doable. If that's all I did every day was $500 and approximately 50, we'll just do 5 here. This is really 50 because there's 52 weeks in a year, but I'm just kind of rounding this off. So it's 20, and you really want to just show you guys some people know this, but if you want to do some tricks with mathematics, especially multiplication, like what I'm really trying to achieve here I got this in the wrong place. Is this, right? I want to calculate 2,500 times 50, approximately 50 weeks, because there's probably about 2 weeks in a year that maybe you don't trade, yeah? Holidays, stuff like this, right? So this looks like a really hard thing to calculate, right? I mean, it's just got a bunch of zeros, but it's kind of a big number. So some people already know this, but for those that aren't really good at math, let me just show you something. You can do is take the 25, you're gonna drop off to 2 zeros. You're gonna drop off to 5. So now you're just gonna do 25 times 5, okay? It's pretty simple, right? It's just quarters. Just think about quarters in your hand. Literally having a quarter in your hand. You know, a penny, a nickel, a dime, and a quarter. Well, how many quarters make a dollar? 4, right? Well, how many quarters make how many quarters? How much is 5 quarters? Well, it's $1.25, right? That's just simple stuff. Just put down the numbers, no decimals. Just put down the numbers. You're not gonna literally put $1.25, right? You're just going to imagine taking away the decimal place here. Okay, I kind of messed this up because this eraser is going nuts. But just think of it that way, right? No decimal point. Okay, so it's just really, this is just really 25 times 5. And all you got to do is tack on the zeros. How many are there? 3. That's it. Put your comma in here. In the United States, we use comma. In Europe, I think they use comma as a decimal sometimes, a little confusing. But for us, we use commas every 3 digits if it's to the left of the decimal place, right? This decimal place is over here. So this is $125,000 per year is what I'm calculating here, right? $500 per day times 5 days a week, right? It's $2,500. This is dollars. Times 50 weeks, I'll just put WKS, right? Turns out to be $125K a year, right? So just for those that are like, struggle with mathematics, anytime you're dealing with zeros in the end, just drop them off. If they're to the left of the decimal place, even if they're to the right, okay, just drop the zeros off and just deal with the positive numbers. Calculate those first, tack your zeros on at the end when you're done, okay? Super simple stuff. That's how you get through math pretty quick. So anyway, my point being is even if I only made $500 approximately every day, that's $125K a year, guys. Okay, that's really good money. So it just goes to show you what seems like, normally I'm talking about $1,000 a day, as much as $1,500 a day, right? That's kind of my goal, somewhere in this area. But even at $500 a day, you can see how that multiplies out to be a lot of money for a year, yeah? Okay, let's look at the rest of the charts. All right, here we are on the daily chart. The range today was only 25 3/4 points, really small day. It was down around 14, 12, 13, 14 for most of the day. It wasn't really till kind of like, I don't know what it was, maybe noon or something that this thing, and we'll look at the intraday charts here in a moment, but yeah, it wasn't until like around noon, I think, that the market really got some legs underneath it and did something other than just tracking sideways. But as you can see, it hit all-time highs today on this little dinky candlestick right here, red candlestick. We do have some new support in here, which I'll put that in right now. That's down in here, okay? You can see, I always talk about this natural support and resistance. It should be obvious where it is, right? Where in this new run-up, in this whole area here, where is there instinctively a support area? It should just pop out. Like it should just, you should be able to see it with your eye. And it's really clear, right? It's these bottom of these 3 candlesticks. We're talking about support here, not resistance. So it's approximately about right here. These 3 candlesticks, you can tell they're grouped together at their base. This is the support. That's how you establish new support. You know, we're at all-time highs, and I talked about this before. I mean, how many Fibonacci extensions are you going to do until you finally realize it's just a bunch of baloney? I'm going to do more Fibonacci extension. We're at Fibonacci extension 25,128,999%. Fibonacci extension. You see that? We're up there. It's like, you know, you got to get real after a while, right? Fibonacci extensions really become kind of pointless when you're just keep going up to all-time new highs and there's nothing above it, okay? It's just kind of silly. It doesn't have any meaning, right? You're just, nobody really knows what's up here and how far this is going to go. I mean, we have, there's a realistic amount that it can do, okay? But no one really knows what this, how high this could continue to go, right? But we do know where it came from because we have that. We can visually see it. So, you know, me drawing Fibonacci extensions up here and just keep going to the moon, it's just like, okay, that's just silly. Because at some point, Fibonacci extensions just become pointless because you're just adding on and whatever. It doesn't have any meaning. It's just like kind of make-believe numbers that everybody hopes makes, that's, you know, it's something to latch onto. That's all it really is. We need a number up here to latch onto. Don't worry about it. Just let the market grow. If it's going to go up, just ride the wave. Don't worry about some fantasy make-believe Fibonacci number up there that's 168% of, you know, and then next week it's good. Well, that's the 168 of the 168 of the 168, don't you know? It's like, okay, you know, get real. Okay. At these levels, Fibonacci has no meaning. Okay, don't rely on Fibonacci extensions going upward to all-time highs. Just, you know, get that out of your head. All right. If we were down here, like at 4808, and let's just say the market came down like this, and we have a sense that the market's going to turn and go up, then you can use your Fibonacci. That makes sense because you can extend it to any one of these areas up here. You can look at your 23 point whatever, your 50%, your, I think it's 78 if I remember right. Then there's 100%, there's some other, whatever all the Fibonacci's are, okay? That makes sense because what you're going to find out is a lot of times they're going to land on these natural support and resistance points. Okay? Not always, but a lot of times they do that. That makes perfect sense to me. Once you have something above it, you can extend your Fibonacci tool to go to, that's great. But once you start getting to all-time highs and it just keeps extending, you know, get real. That tool is absolutely worthless at that point. You're wasting your time. Stop relying on Fibonacci's when you're at all-time highs. It doesn't mean anything at this point. Let's put in this support right here, since I'm here, okay? We'll do the drawing tool. We're going to pick, in this case, we picked a straight line. See all these tools? Drawing tools, we're picking a straight line, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of average the bottom of these three. You don't have to be exactly perfect. It's not have to be a perfect science here, guys. It just needs to be really, really close. So we're gonna kind of ballpark it right about there. We'll extend this out a little bit. And I'll have to extend these lines out anyway, but for now, I'll just put it out to the March 20th line. Okay, and I'm gonna take it at the, I'll take it like right here at the bottom of this candlestick. It's 50.63 1/4. Okay, so we're gonna go in here, 50.63 1/4, and we can make it yellow because that seems to be the color I'm picking here. We're gonna duplicate one of these these little texts, 53, 63, 53, whatever the heck it is. I gotta go look now. Yep, I got it right, 63 1/4. We can make this line a little bit darker. We'll make it width 2. Okay, and I'll extend these later. We don't have to do it in this video, okay? So there you go. There's your new support down here, right? It's right in this cluster of candlesticks, super obvious. All right, you almost always get this kind of, you almost always get enough candlesticks to be able to pick out a support area. It almost always happens. Okay, and this line, it was a combination of the bottom of this one, the top of these two, and the bottom of these two. They're all right here. They form a line. It's like really obvious. These two here, these two are approximately the same. These two are the same. These two, look at these, 1, 2, 3, 4, all provide a really nice support right there at 48.72. Okay, so it's really obvious, right? So that's the support of where this could come down if this remains to be the all-time high. But right now, there's no reason to believe that this is the all-time high. Okay, look at this thing. Still tracking way up here, 59. way above the zero line, just like flat as a freaking pancake, just tracking sideways, way above the zero line. Momentum continues to be amazingly strong on the daily chart. Okay, we still got March 12th here, which, to be honest with you right now, this March 12th, I mean, we're only 8 calendar days away. So, this March 12th, I mean, it could just get blasted right through. Or we get some we continue to get bullish, and then it just has a kind of a failure, like just like a small pullback into this date, which right now it's looking more and more like that's going to happen. But I've seen this before. This is very bullish. Everything here is so crazy bullish. All right, all of it's very bullish. Let me just go look at something here. Let me just double click this. Usually we get the charts to play nice here if I double click on it, which it did. I'm just kind of looking back here if these big yellow cycles make any sense. They made sense here. They made sense here. They made sense right here. They made some sense right here. It did make sense. That's actually a cycle low. Here, it's a little something right there. Okay, might even come a little early. So, I mean, if this pattern continues, which, I mean, we're already, look how far. Now, let's zoom in. Let me talk just about cycle dynamics here a little bit, okay? This is the beginning of the cycle over here. I'm going to draw a vertical line. And this is the theoretical end to it. Because we don't know for sure that's where it's going to end, but we theorize and forecast that's the end of this cycle, okay? And look at this from this point, from this line to this line, or so far, what has it done? Well, it's just gone this way, straight up, right? Well, not straight up, but you know what I mean, it's been going up. That's very, very bullish, like extremely bullish cycle. So the middle of this cycle is here. All right, and we're way over here on the right-hand side. So if we get a decline into this March 12th, okay, which is kind of hidden behind this, but it would just be like, a pullback that's kind of late, and it may not be very deep because it doesn't have a lot of time to make this pullback. Only 8 calendar days, which out of these 8 calendar days is like, I don't know, whatever, 5 or 6 trading days, whatever it is. Okay. Maybe like 6, maybe like 6, maybe it's like 6, yeah, probably like 6 calendar days in there, maybe 7 total. 7 total trading days before we get to March 12th, okay? So if this pullback happens, it's probably going to be kind of quick right at the very end, and it probably won't be very deep, okay? It could surprise us, and it could do a monster pullback. I mean, I've seen crazy things like that happen. It could do that. But the depth of this pullback into March 12th is going to give us a lot of information. All right? So there probably will be some kind of pullback into here, but it may just be a little dinky pullback. It may just be like this. It may be like just 4 days like that. It may be like just little nothing here. Just barely gives anything up. All right, however this pulls back into this cycle low here on March 12th, that's going to be very informational. If it surprises us, which would be a surprise for it to pull back really deep with such little time left, but if it did, it pulls way back to 49.70, let's say, okay, or 49.36, that'd be a bit of a surprise to see it get that deep. All right. Because that's a good, 157 plus another 64 points. Yep. So a little over 210, 215 points. That would be a surprise if the market pulled back over 200 points right here down into this, let's say 49.36. I'm just kind of give you an example of what would surprise me, right? That if it pulled back to that, I'd be like, wow, okay, that's a little bit deeper than I thought would happen. Then we reevaluate the market and we understand we may be seeing some weakness in the market, and we could get prepared for possible even more weakness as we go out into these other cycles that we see over to the right. On the other hand, if it just does a little knee knocker, two little day pullback and bounces again, then, well, that's informational. All that's really important. You always have to do analysis every day, guys. You always have to reevaluate the market every day. All right. Okay, let's look at the intraday charts. Okay, so we're looking at the 5-minute chart here, and you can see this was last night, starts right over here. And the market's going to close approximately right over here today, somewhere in this area, in about, about 25 minutes. Okay, we're at 3:35. Intraday's already obviously closed. This was at 2:15, guys. Right up here at 2:15. It's the typical 2 o'clock pullback. This is very common in the market. 2 o'clock, the market pulls back. This today was actually a pretty decent pullback given the total range of the day. All right, but this is the total day, right? From last night all the way to here. Now in this section somewhere over here on the Nike or the Nikkei 225, I made some trades and made it $500 in this area. So that was just a different product I chose to trade instead of the S&P 500. So looking at the S&P 500 here, though, you can see just a little pullback at the opening, little bouncy pullback stuff. That's it. It just stayed dead the whole time. Like, I mean, it did start to drop here a little bit, which is also very typical. Around 7 o'clock in the morning, my time anyway, you begin to see the market give it up. You know, kind of London's afternoon market thingy going on there. They do this frequently. They sell off right before in pre-market for the US. Very common to see that happen. All right. So not much going on. And then intraday, we did have this little bounce here. Not even 10 points in the morning. It opened up right somewhere in this area. It kind of bounced around, had a little rise here. Let's zoom in on that because now we're talking intraday. Okay. And we'll talk about trades of the day because there wasn't really a whole lot going on here. So right here, this is 8:15, 8:25, 8:30. Right here is the open. Yeah, if we want to call it the New York Open, is right here. Right there. Okay. Which this is just opening bell. You want to make that trade, you can do that. Take this position, pick up about four points here. Maybe 5. That's it. That's how small today was. It was crazy small. I didn't trade that. Like I said, I didn't trade the S&P 500 today. I had a feeling it was going to be dead as a doornail after Friday's massive run up. And sure enough, today was a dead day. Okay. There was a little something here, but not much to go on. I wouldn't have traded this even if I was trading the S&P 500 today. I would not have touched this because this is all dip down. Gave us a little, and you know, if you were a little patient here, you got some divergence going on, you might have picked up a little something there, but just not worth even trading. It's like, I'm not touching that. There's nothing there. This was less than 5 points intraday. Nothing. Forget it. I know I can make a few, like $200, $300, $400 in this area if I really wanted to, but I just didn't mess with it. Okay, so now let's talk about what I really think. Okay, this event at the end of the day actually is the event of the day. I mean, the 2 o'clock pullback is where the money was made. For those that don't know, intraday, 2 o'clock, approximately 2 o'clock, pullbacks tend to happen, you know, frequently. That doesn't always happen. Like Friday was obviously, that didn't happen. Okay, but then again, that was expiration for calls and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. But this happens a lot at 2 o'clock. So the big pull, this, if you want to call this big, this is big for today anyway. So from about 56 down here to about 35, I guess. Big enough. That's good money right there. That's a good, 20-point drop? That's really nice. This was really good money right here. You can make a few $1,000 right there on a decent sized account, at least a few $100 on a small retail account right here. Okay, really nice. Now, there's this Guinness Plus indicator. It's at the very end of the day here. Does it mean anything? Yeah, I think it does. It means something going into tonight's session. Now, for your options traders, you know, well, sorry, you're tough out of luck. But for futures traders, tonight's session, yeah, could be very interesting. And I think the market's going to get a little bit more active going into tonight and tomorrow than it was today. So I do actually think there's going to be opportunity tonight and tomorrow, especially for futures traders. And then options. You guys and gals are trading options. That's great. I know people love to trade options. That's cool. Do your thing. But if you're trading options, your broker will let you trade futures. Yeah, if you have options approval on your account, you can ask your broker to approve you for futures, because they'll do it. If you're already approved for options, sometimes you're already automatically approved for futures. Other times you have to ask to get additional approval for futures. So I would do that. You don't have to trade futures if you don't want to, but you should still get approved for it. Okay? Don't be afraid of it. Just do it. All right? Because you're missing out on opportunities. My point here is you're missing out on opportunities outside of intraday trading, which is really the only time you can do options, right? So you're missing out on the opportunity to trade futures at night, pre-market, all this other time, right? Futures trade 23 hours a day. Why limit yourself just to the intraday market? That's crazy. Think about the intraday market. It's this short little piece of, this little sliver of time. I mean, why limit yourself to that? All right. So I think there is going to be opportunity here. Of course, my members, kind of sniffling here because I'm drinking something cold, it's making me sniffle. Make sure you read your emails tonight. I will give my opinion about what I think the market's going to do. If you want to become a member, of course, stick around to the very end of the video and I'll show you how to do that, all right? Let's take a look at the 15-minute chart. We'll finish up this video. Yeah, see, even here on the 15-minute chart, there really wasn't anything to go on. Just look at this, just flat, crazy flat. All just sticking right around 5140 all day long. Just 5140. Even this signal, there just wasn't enough range in the day to do almost anything here. And I wouldn't trade this because you could see it was already tacking along the top line. There's nothing going on. Like this signal, you don't have any meat on the bone. Yep. When between last night when I got up this morning, I was like, I'm not even touching the S&P 500. I already knew it. That's why I traded, like I said, that's why I traded the Nikkei 225, because at least on there I can make some money. That's one thing that is great about that product, the Nikkei 225, that if the market's really dry like it is today and barely moving, man, you don't need hardly any movement on that product to make money. Just a small movement, you're making decent money. So the S&P 500 going to be dead like it was today. You still can make money on that other product, the Nikkei 225, because it doesn't take much movement to make a lot of money there. But like I said, there's a lot of risk associated with that product. Okay, that's it. Like I said, members, make sure you check your emails tonight for my opinion about what I think the market's going to do tomorrow. For those that want to become members, stick around to the very end. Everybody else, glad you stuck around to watch the video. Talk to you all again real soon next time. Okay, glad you stuck around to the end of the video. You want to become a member, that is great. There's going to be a Discord link in the description in this YouTube video. So just look below the video. You should see a description there. There's going to be a discord.com link. Make sure you read the instructions very carefully before you join. Once you've done that, click on that link. You're going to come here to get a server. Then click on server shop. Come here. $7.99 a month, guys and gals. Okay. Super good value for $7.99. The streaming charts are down here. So once you join, just click on this channel right here. You'll get the 3 streaming charts, a 5-minute, the 15-minute, and a 1 hour. Really nice. We looked at the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the trades of the day. So that's what those charts look like. On the 1 hour chart, there's cycles on there, which were pretty accurate today. The forecasting for the hourly chart was really nice. It was really good for the 6 a.m. I had a 6 a.m. Hourly cycle forecast, and I think it came in at 5. So I'm good with that. Being within 1 hour is fine by me. Whenever this Getus Plus indicator does get triggered, it sends an alert from the streaming chart over to this channel here. So that's really nice. So if you're not even watching the streaming chart, you can still get the alerts. You just right click on this channel and turn notifications on, all right? There's also alerts for these products here: gold, crude oil, top 30 stocks, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ, and daily alerts. So if you want to get alerts on that, same thing. Just right click on each of these and turn them on if you want to get alerts for those. At the end of each day, I put premium symbols in this channel. It's worth a look. Sometimes there's some really good symbols in there. If you want to get on the nightly email, make sure you put your email address in this channel, the emails only channel. And you're going to get a daily chart of the S&P 500. It'll have the daily cycles on there, right? Currently it has, I think, the support lines on there as well. Really nice chart. And I usually give a couple sentences or a small paragraph of what I think the market's going to do the next day, okay? A lot of people join just for the email alone because they don't want to, they're not intraday traders. They just want to know what the email says. All right. And then these channels up here are where we do most of the chat. I think today I saw about 15 or 20 people in the stream. So the stream continues to grow. More people are coming in little by little, and then we just keep getting more and more members, which is great. Welcome new members, of course. If you're a new member, and you want to ask me about the new member video, there's a video I created for new members so they can understand how maybe to best use the membership, how to use the charts, how to use the Giddens Plus indicator, how I use the indicators and everything else, how I make use of the cycles that I'm talking about. Then just ask me. You can put it in member chat or even the S&P 500 channel. Just say, hey, Giddens, where's the link for the new members video? And I'll give you the link, okay? I already created that video. I think it's even sitting in this Giddens Only Post channel. But if you want the link, just ask me for it, and I'll make sure you get it, okay? So this is everything you get, guys. Everything you're getting for the $7.99 per month. You're getting the streaming charts, you're getting the alerts, you get the premium symbols, you're getting the nightly emails, okay? Of course, you got just chat going on with members here. I'm usually available throughout the day, even at night sometimes. I'm available, so if there's a support issue, if you're not getting emails, whatever, just let me know. All right. Lastly, I want to talk about the rules. And here's please be nice to everybody else rules. Don't post any nasty pictures, nasty talk, nasty language. I won't tolerate that stuff on the server. If I have to, I'll kick you. If you don't play nice and you keep being a jerk, you're eventually going to get banned. So don't make me do that, okay? But I'll do it if I have to. Also, in here's the refund rules, as well as a disclaimer that I'm not a financial advisor. Everything on this server, I don't care who's posting it, me or anybody else, is strictly for educational purposes only. Just like this video. This video is educational purposes only. I don't give financial advice, okay? I think that pretty much covers it, guys and gals. Hope everybody had a really awesome day trading. Okay, God bless everybody. We'll talk to y'all all real soon again next time.